Welcome to Wonderslate. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. Topic for today's quiz is Judiciary and Legal Rights, Issues etc. Question number 1. The power of the Supreme Court of India to decide disputes between the centre and the state falls under its Option A. Advisory jurisdiction. Option B. Appellate jurisdiction. Option C. Original jurisdiction. Option D. Constitutional jurisdiction. The correct answer is Option C. Original jurisdiction. According to Article 131, the SC has original jurisdiction in any dispute A. Between the Government of India and one or more states, or B. Between the Government of India and any state or states on one side and one or more other states on the other, or C. Between two or more states. Question number 2. When the Chief Justice of a High Court acts in an administrative capacity, he is subject to Option A. The writ jurisdiction of any other judges of the High Court. Option B. Special control exercised by the Chief Justice of India. Option C. Discretionary powers of the Governor of the state. Option D. Special powers provided to the Chief Minister. The correct answer is Option A. The writ jurisdiction of any other judges of the High Court. Article 226 of the Constitution empowers the High Court to issue writs. Also, when the Chief Justice of a High Court acts in an administrative capacity, be the subject to the writ jurisdiction of any other judges of the High Court. Question number 3. According to the Constitution of India, the term district judge shall not include Option A. Chief Presidency Magistrate. Option B. Sessions Judges. Option C. Tribunal Judge. Option D. Chief Judge of a Small Cause Court. The correct answer is Option C. Tribunal Judge. Under Article 236 of the Constitution, the term district judge includes judge of a city civil court, additional district judge, joint district judge, assistant district judge, chief judge of a small cause court, chief presidency magistrate, additional chief presidency magistrate, sessions judge and assistant sessions judge and additional sessions judge. Question number 4. The Supreme Court of India tenders advice to the President on a matter of law or fact. Option A. On its own initiative. Option B. Only if he seeks such advice. Option C. Only if the matter relates to the fundamental rights of citizens. Option D. Only if the issue poses a threat to the unity and integrity of the country. The correct answer is Option B. Only if he seeks such advice, as per provisions under Article 143. Question number 5. The salaries and allowances of the judges of the High Court are charged to the Option A. Consolidated Fund of India. Option B. Consolidated Fund of the State. Option C. Contingency Fund of India. Option D. Contingency Fund of the State. The correct answer is Option B. Consolidated Fund of the State. The salaries and allowances of the judges of the High Court are charged to the Consolidated Fund of the State, but their pensions are payable as charged expenditure or Article 112(3). Question number 6. The power to enlarge the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court of India with respect to any matter included in the Union List of Legislative Powers rests with Option A. The President of India. Option B. The Chief Justice of India. Option C. The Parliament. Option D. The Union Ministry of Law, Justice and Company Affairs. The correct answer is Option C. The Parliament. Such is the prerogative of the Parliament. Question number 7. Which one of the following high courts has the territorial jurisdiction over Andaman and Nicobar Islands? Option Andhra Pradesh. Option B. Kolkata. Option C. Chennai. Option D. Orissa. The correct answer is Option B. Kolkata. The Union Territories of Andaman and Nicobar Islands comes under the jurisdiction of the High Court of Calcutta under its Extended Jurisdiction Act 1953. Question number 8. According to the National Human Rights Commission Act, 1993, who amongst the following can be its chairman? Option A. Any serving judges of the Supreme Court. Option B. Any serving judge of the High Court. Option C. Only a retired Chief Justice of India. Option D. Only a retired Chief Justice of a High Court. The correct answer is Option C. Only a retired Chief Justice of India. According to the National Human Rights Commission Act, 1993, only a retired Chief Justice of India can become chairman of the National Human Rights Commission, appointed by the President on the recommendation of a committee comprising of Prime Minister, Speaker of Lok Sabha, Home Minister, Leader of Opposition of both Houses of Parliament and Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Question number 9. Which one of the following is the correct sequence in the descending order of precedence in the warrant of precedence? Option A. Attorney General of India, Judges of the Supreme Court, Members of the Parliament, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Option B. Judges of the Supreme Court, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, Attorney General of India, Members of the Parliament. Option C. Attorney General of India, Sabha, Judges of the Supreme Court, Members of Parliament, Deputy Chairman of Rajya. Option D. Judges of the Supreme Court, Attorney General of India, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, Members of Parliament. The correct answer is Option B. Judges of the Supreme Court, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, Attorney General of India, Members of the Parliament. President comes first, Vice President second, Prime Minister third, and governors of states within their respective state come fourth in the warrant of precedence. According to the Indian Order of Precedence, Judges of the Supreme Court, rank 9. Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, rank 10. Attorney General of India, rank 11. Members of Parliament, rank 21. Question number 10. Who was the Chief Justice of India when Public Interest Litigation, PIL, was introduced to the Indian judicial system? Option A. M. Hidayatullah. Option B. A. M. Ahmadi. Option C. A. S. Anand. Option D. P. N. Bhagwati. The correct answer is Option D. P. N. Bhagwati. P. N. Bhagwati was Chief Justice of India during July 1985 to December 1986. During his tenure as Chief Justice of India, Public Interest Litigation, PIL, was introduced to the Indian judicial system. Question number 11. How many high courts in India have jurisdiction over more than one state, union territories not included? Option A. 2. Option B. 3. Option C. 4. Option D. 5. The correct answer is Option C. 4. The Guwahati High Court has jurisdiction over Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, and Arunachal Pradesh, and the High Court of Hyderabad has jurisdiction over Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. These two high courts have jurisdiction over one or more states excluding union territories. Besides, these following high courts share with states and union territories. 1. Bombay High Court, Maharashtra, Goa, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu. 2. Kolkata High Court, Kolkata and Andaman and Nicobar. 3. Kerala High Court, Kerala and Lakshadweep. 4. Madras High Court, Madras and Pondicherry. 5. Punjab and High Court, Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh. Question number 12. With reference to Lok Adalats, which of the following statements is correct? Option A. Lok Adalats have the jurisdiction to settle matters at pre-litigating stage and not those matters pending before any court. Option B. Lok Adalats can deal with matters which are civil and not criminal in nature. Option C. Every Lok Adalat consists of either serving or retired judicial officers only and not any other person. Option D. None of them. The correct answer is option D. None of them. Cases that are pending in regular courts can be transferred to a Lok Adalat if both the parties agree. These are usually presided over by retired judges, social activists, or other members of the legal profession. Lok Adalats can deal with any matter falling within the jurisdiction, whether it is of civil or criminal in nature. Question number 13. A British citizen staying in India cannot claim the right to option A. Freedom of trade and profession. Option B. Equality before the law. Option C. Protection of life and personal liberty. Option D. Freedom of religion. The correct answer is option A. Freedom of trade and profession. Fundamental rights are available only to citizens and not to foreigners. Rights available under Article 15, 16, 19, 29, and 30. Fundamental rights are available to both citizens and foreigners. Rights available under Article 14, 20, 21, 21A, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 and Article 28. Article 19(1)(g) of the Constitution of India provides the right to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade, or business to all citizens subject to caution restrictions. Question number 14. In the Indian Constitution, the right to equality is granted by 5 articles. They are option A. Article 16 to Article 20. Option B. Article 15 to Article 19. Option C. Article 14 to Article 18. Option D. Article 13 to Article 17. The correct answer is option C. Article 14 to Article 18. Fundamental rights have been categorized into 6 groups: right to equality, 14 to 18, right to freedom, 19 to 22, right against exploitation, 23 and 24, right to freedom of religion, 25 and 28, cultural and educational rights 29 and 30, right to constitutional remedies 32. Question number 15. Which one of the following rights was described by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as the heart and soul of the Constitution? Option A. Right to freedom of religion. Option B. Right to property. Option C. Right to equality. Option D. Right to constitutional remedies. The correct answer is option D. Right to constitutional remedies. The right to constitutional remedies under Article 32 is a fundamental right. It was called the soul of the Indian Constitution and heart of it by B.R. Ambedkar. Question number 16. The power of the Supreme Court of India to decide disputes between the centre and the states falls under its option A. Advisory jurisdiction. Option B. Appellate jurisdiction. Option C. Original jurisdiction. Option D. Writ jurisdiction. The correct answer is option C. Original jurisdiction. The original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court includes disputes between 1. The centre and one or more state, or 2. The centre and any state or states on one side and one or more states on the other, or 3. Between 2 or more states. In the above federal disputes, the Supreme Court has exclusive original jurisdiction. Question number 17. In India, judicial review implies option A. The power of the judiciary to pronounce upon the constitutionality of laws and executive orders. Option B. The power of the judiciary to question the wisdom of the laws enacted by the legislatures. Option C. The power of the judiciary to review all the legislative enactments before they are assented to by the President. Option D. The power of the judiciary to review its own judgments given earlier in similar or different cases. The correct answer is option A. The power of the judiciary to pronounce upon the constitutionality of laws and executive orders. Judicial review means the power of the Supreme Court or High Court to examine the constitutionality of any law. Question number 18. The Supreme Court of India upheld the decision to implement the quota for other backward classes, OBCs, in higher educational institutions. The court, however, excluded the creamy layer from being a beneficiary. The reason is underscore. Option A. Creamy layer is not an OBC, it is a forward caste. Option B. Creamy layer is politically powerful. Option C. The inclusion of creamy layer would be unjust. Option D. None of them. The correct answer is Option D. None of them. The Supreme Court upheld the law enacted by the Centre in 2006 providing a quota of 27% for candidates belonging to the other backward classes, OBC, in central higher educational institutions. But it directed the government to exclude the creamy layer among the OBC while implementing the law. Question number 19. Which is the principal judicial organ of India? Option A. ILO. Option B. IMF. Option C. The Supreme Court of India. Option D. None of the above. The correct answer is Option C. The Supreme Court of India. Judiciary is an important organ of the government. The Supreme Court of India is in fact one of the very powerful courts in the world. Question number 20. Which of the following articles in the Indian Constitution cannot be suspended even during the emergency? Option A. Article 20 and Article 21. Option B. Article 14 and Article 15. Option C. Article 23 and Article 24. Option D. Article 30 and Article 31. The correct answer is Option A. Article 20 and Article 21. Rights under Articles 20 and 21 cannot be suspended by any order under Article 359. Article 20 states that no person shall be convicted for any offence except the violation of law in force. No person shall be punished for the same offence more than once. No person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. Article 21 guarantees that no person shall be deprived of his life and personal liberty except according to the procedure established by the law. Thank you for watching the video. If you'd like practice this quiz, then download the Wonderslate app now, link in the description below. If you have any suggestion for us, feel free to leave comments. If you liked the video and want to see more of it, hit the thumbs up and don't forget to click on subscribe button to get more updates of the future videos.